Miami embarrassed Jimmy Butler in his return, but outside of that, the Miami Heat have been embarrassing. 7-18 since that trade with a 10-game losing streak, NBA worst in the fourth quarter. But now
they're just getting ready for next year. I'm telling you, all those guys that are going to be there and like whatever they do, they're going to get a guy in the offseason. There's no way the Miami Heat aren't going to be super relevant next year. No way.
Well, very interesting. And why would Brian Scalabrine, a guy who hates the Miami Heat, say that? Because we already know the Heat's plans. They are targeting several stars to compete, and we will name them, but it's safe to ask, do stars even want to go there anymore? I mean, rumors say that players think Pat Riley is too old school and doesn't get the player empowerment era. Oh, he may have won 9 rings as a player, coach, and exec, but this is 2025. Okay, Riles is 80 years old. So LeBron slammed him on a podcast. And I hate to admit it because it's LeBron, but this is legit funny.
Everyone knows I love chocolate chip cookies. The ladies on the plane were making chocolate chip cookies. And then one flight I got on, I looked at them and they looked at me and I'm like, no more cookies on these flights.
What?
Riles had done it again. I left and it was time for D-Wade to get paid and he didn't want to pay D-Wade and D-Wade left. When Wade County had to leave and go to Chicago, I looked at the cookie situation. I was like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't that bad.
Yes, so he doesn't know how to treat stars. Then you got Jimmy Butler saying, oh, you get some really good players, then you get the opportunity to talk about Heat culture. I'm not saying it to talk down or anything, but I think whenever you have really good players, you can name it whatever you want. Yeah, what's Heat culture? I mean, without Shaq, D-Wade, LeBron, Jimmy Butler, you think they have anything to do with it? Well, 2 things. And number 1 is my favorite Greg Popovich story of all time. So early in Tony Parker's career, Tony knew he was really good. So he went to Pop and he was like, you know what? I'm tired of you guys running everything through Tim Duncan. I'm the man too, okay? I want to trade. And Pop was like, no problem. I'll trade you tomorrow if you want. But understand this. You'll average 30. You'll be an all-star. You will never win an NBA championship. Tim Duncan's our guy because he is a championship #1. You are not. Wow. But Tony thought about it and then said, you know what? Never mind. You're right. I'll stay. And from there, the Spurs won 4 championships with Tony Parker. Tony even got a finals MVP in 2007. It worked. See, Pat Riley is not the only guy who is hard on stars, but is the player receiving that message willing to put his ego to the side. The difference between the Spurs and the Heat is San Antonio refuses to sign me-first players. Miami will sign anyone as long as they have elite skills. But then they run into situations like Jimmy Butler all the time. And he thinks that you can just throw a bunch of good players together and then have culture. Tell that to the Phoenix Suns right now. What they're missing is a guy like Pat Riley. So no, he is not the problem. But you do still need good players. So what are the Heat gonna do? But I just got the numbers for MyFitFoods and you guys are loving it. That makes me really happy because I am loving it too. All I eat are MyFitFoods meals all day, every day, plus a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and it's allowed me to achieve all my fitness goals while being affordable and extremely tasty. They're always mixing in new meals every single month, and it's so convenient. Like, one of the biggest wastes of time in my life recently has been like on Sundays trying to meal prep the entire day for the week, and it doesn't even taste that good. But MyFitFoods takes care of all of that, and if you use my promo code AMHOOPS30, you get 30% off your meals. They have stores you can walk in Houston or Portland or Denver, plus new stores coming in Dallas and Austin. So please check out MyFitFoods like a lot of you guys have been doing. Use my promo code AMHOOPS30 for 30% off. Well, a report at the trade deadline said that a deal to get Kevin Durant was on the table. I mean, it was there to be done. KD apparently signed off on the Heat, which is funny because he told Draymond, no Warriors because I want to ride it out in Phoenix, which was BS, obviously. So why didn't the Heat do it? Well, ESPN said Phoenix, which paid for Durant with 4 first-round picks, 3 swaps to Brooklyn, was seeking significant compensation for him. And what does that mean? They wanted everything. Anyone not named Bam and Hero. And maybe even them. Phoenix wanted Khalil Ware, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, all the picks and swaps. So Miami said, no, we will wait for the summer and hope that the price goes down. So what would that price even be? Well, even at 37 years old, Durant is still elite, averaging 26 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 53% from the field, 42% from deep. Not a big leader, but he is perfect on the court. So what if Miami offered Khalil Ware, salary filler, and one of Wiggins or Hero. Which guy should they keep? Obviously, the answer is the Heat keep Hero, right? But are we sure? Wiggins provides some of Tyler's scoring, but is a lot more versatile and better on defense. Plus, what if Hero demands the max in this extension coming up? In that case, Wiggins would be $20 million cheaper than Hero, and that is $20 million that they could spend on other players around KD and Bam. You might think keeping Wiggins is stupid, but it's not so straightforward. However, Miami's got eyes on Milwaukee as well, because in 2021, the Bucks won the NBA title. Then they lost in the second round to Boston. Then in the first round to the Heat. See a pattern? They were backsliding. So to save themselves, big splash for Damian Lillard. In that deal, they trade Drew Holiday to Portland, but then who scooped him up? The rival Celtics. So all of a sudden, Boston becomes a super team, cruises to the finals, while year one with Giannis and Dame was terrible. Adrian Griffin gets fired mid-season. Dame admits he's miserable. This year, it's worse. The Bucks are on pace to win 46 games. It was 49 last year. Dame's got this blood clot situation. Everyone's just waiting now for that Giannis trade demand to pounce. And it's not that Giannis hates Milwaukee, but, quote, at the end of the day, before loyalty, winning comes first. And how is this team gonna win? They're one of the most asset-poor teams in the NBA. Their trade bait is Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, AJ Green, Andre Jackson Jr., Chris Livingston, and Tyler Smith. Good luck with that. And as for picks, it's as bad as the Phoenix Suns. They control nothing until 2031, because the downside of picking big swings is if you miss, you got no moves left. So obviously the dream target would be Giannis there, but what about Dame? I mean, before he went to Milwaukee, Lillard and the Heat were flirting. Pat Riley lowballed Portland thinking, oh, Dame's trade demand matters, but it backfired. So I think a reasonable trade would be the Heat get Dame, the Bucks get Ware, Duncan Robinson, they have to take Terry Rozier's bad contract and control of 2 picks. So that is 1 good player and 2 picks. Now Dame is 34 years old, having a good statistical season. My one problem is not being a best player on a championship team guy. Miami still wouldn't have that after this trade. This probably made more sense when they had Jimmy, which is why Pat Riley went after him even with a low ball. But the obvious prize is Giannis, right? And how many teams could realistically have a shot to land him? Well, the first requirement is a team needs to be a contender once they have Giannis. That's the whole point of him leaving Milwaukee. So that list is the Heat, Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers in the East, and the Thunder, Rockets, Nuggets, Lakers, Grizz, Clippers, Warriors, Wolves, Suns, and Mavs in the West. But you need assets to trade for Giannis. So cross off the Suns and the Knicks and the Cavs, Celtics, Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers, Wolves, and Mavs. They don't have enough. So that leaves us with Miami, Indy, OKC, Houston, Memphis, and Golden State. Those are the only realistic teams who could land Giannis. Is Miami at the top? No. They would get outbid by so many teams. Number 1 on this list, I think, are the Rockets, closely followed by OKC. So unless Giannis demands to be traded to the Heat, that rumor is going to be fake from day one. But apparently the Heat are planning something big, and they do have multiple options. But it'll be just one major addition to NBA teams this offseason. What about the NBA draft? Well, obviously everyone is trying to get Cooper Flagg, and at the same time, the NBA is trying to stop teams from tanking. So some teams have found a creative new way to lose games to try to get that number 1 pick.